Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Set Lusting Bruce, your podcast all about Bruce Springsteen, his music, and mostly his fans. I am your host, Jesse Jackson, and today we have a special mini episode. Don't know if you know, but
A mini
there.
episode? What is it? Wait, what is this? I'm not getting a full episode?
Well, John, you and your lovely fiance owe me a visit, and then we're
Oh,
going
that's
to do a
true.
full episode. That's right.
Oh, okay. You want her on the phone too?
Yes, I do. Hey,
Okay.
I don't
All right.
know if you've heard, but there's a party
No.
not going down in Memphis Town, but in Ashbury Park Town in September,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I have John Kelly here to talk about it. How you doing, John?
Oh, I'm doing great, Jesse. Thank you so much for asking, and God bless you. I've been I've been praying for you and rooting for you, and it's so wonderful to hear you because you sound great. So keep up the great work that you're doing.
Well,
But
thank
yes,
you.
we are. Oh, go ahead.
No, well, thank you, John. I appreciate it. I feel um, on Friday, on Good Friday, you had reached out to me and said, "Hey, Jesse, do you have a couple of minutes?" And I said, "I just really don't feel well." And you're like, "Oh, okay,
Mm,
okay." And it was so lovely. You posted on BruceBook the
Bruce,
nicest email, little post about, "Hey, send good thoughts," and just hundreds of people posted, and a couple people have
yeah,
asked me, John, are you tired of talking about your cancer? Are you tired of
that's
hearing
a
people? And
yeah, that's a good question.
yeah, and the reality is no, it's on my mind all the time. So I actually worry sometimes I talk about it too much. But every
No,
post, every tweet, every email of someone sending me thoughts and prayers and sending me love, truly I feel them each time, John. Um,
yeah,
it is like a virtual hug, and so I appreciate
hmm
that and your support, and you're just a wonderful person, and I'm ecstatic
oh,
that I'm part of this community, and you're just a good guy. So,
you're a good guy,
well,
and yeah. And wait a second, hold on one second.
yeah.
I just want to say that in the last few, I was raised like a lot of us, and like Bruce, I was raised Irish cat, came from an Irish Catholic family, and
Yes.
so but I kind of drifted away from religion a little bit. But I'll tell you, in the last few years, I've lost a lot of people in my family. And my mom died a
Mhm.
couple of years ago, and before that, my brother. And so right now, all I have left pretty much for family is, we started out with seven, and then we're down now to three. It's just myself and my two sisters. And the point I'm trying to get to is that I have really started to pray a lot more, and I believe in prayer. I've seen it in action. I think it works, and as long whatever works, I keep on doing it. So I'll keep on praying for you, and I know that there's literally thousands of other people out there who are praying for you, and that can't hurt.
No, it can't, and I feel it. Um, I, I, I do. I
Yeah.
felt the love and the support, and it's, in fact, it was a little overwhelming because I'm one of those people when it's your birthday. You have all these people that post happy birthday on Facebook, and I try to reply to everyone like, "Oh, thank you, I appreciate it."
Yeah.
You
Me
know,
too.
uh, there was so many when I was first diagnosed. I just had to put a generic. I wish I could respond to each of you personally, but it's
Oh
just
yeah.
totally overwhelmed, and it was just beautiful. You know, I agree with you. I believe that prayer and positive thinking is truly
Right.
something that helps us to get through the day and to get through our lives. And I've obviously I've listened to a lot of Bruce music. We've
Yeah.
quoted a lot of Better Days and Land of Hope and Dreams and No Retreat, No Surrender. And
Right.
so I appreciate the kind words and I appreciate the prayers. And, um, you know, what's nice is, and I find this a lot of comfort, John. I've lost, both sets of grandparents. I've lost my dad and my stepdad. I was very close to my stepdad. And
Oh, I'm sorry.
Linda has lost both of her parents. I'm blessed. I still have a
Uh-huh.
mom. But at the Apollo Theater, after Clarence had died, Bruce asked, "Are
Yeah.
we missing anyone?" And when he says, "If you're here and we're here, they're here," brought tears to my eyes because I believe that. I
Yeah.
believe when you're at a family gathering and if your remaining family is there and the people you love are there, then the ones we've lost are there. And
I agree.
I honestly believe that in September that um, the souls of the departed will be there at this convention, and I believe that there will
Oh,
be Bruce Buds across the world being there in spirit for those who can't be there in person. And I just think
oh
this is a
yeah.
wonderful thing, and I'm so excited we're going to get a chance to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the opportunity to talk about it. We started our registration. Well, let me first explain what it is, and then I'll talk about registration. But it's basically a brand new thing. It's our first ever. Um, it's our first ever Bruce Book convention, and we've been around since I think 2011, but a couple of people suggested maybe we should all get together because the community was really becoming close knit in the last year or so. And so I said, okay. And I thought, well, where would we get together? And of course, the first place that came to mind was Asbury Park because that's kind of like, Beatle fans get together. They would go to Liverpool, right?
Right.
Uh, and so it's Mecca for us Bruce fans.
It
And
it truly is. I was lucky enough in August to go to the 825 show there at the Met Life Stadium, and then
yeah.
the next day I went on Stan's amazing, tour, and
Oh, that's right. I remember seeing
yeah,
pictures of that. Yeah.
and so you truly are, seeing the birthplace of, you know, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, and there's so much in that city that has to do with his music and his upbringing and that whole little section. I think that is perfect. I think that is the perfect place to have it. And anything special about the dates you picked?
Yes.
uh-huh.
Yeah, it's uh I wanted to do it in September, and I probably should have been more careful, Jesse, about choosing the dates because it's turned out to be a busy weekend in Asbury Park. There are quite a few weddings, and so it's become a little bit of a little more difficult, like in terms of booking restaurants or booking ballroom, booking rooms and stuff in hotels. But I wanted, I figured if we're going to do it in September, we might as well do it over his birthday weekend.
Right.
And Bruce turns 68. Unbelievable, hard to believe he's turning
Yes.
68. He looks like he's 48 or 38. But so Saturday, September 23rd, the convention starts on September 22nd, which is a Friday, and a lot of people will be arriving on either Thursday or Friday of that week, and then it continues on Saturday and into Sunday. So it's the whole weekend long, and I believe I didn't realize this when I was planning it, but I think I've been told anyway that it's the first ever Bruce Springsteen convention in Asbury Park, which seems hard to believe, doesn't it?
It
But
does.
yeah, but I guess nobody else has had the time to do it
Hmm.
or the motivation or whatever. And I'm lucky because my fiance is a she she's blessed, and she's an editor at the local newspaper here in Detroit. I live in Detroit, and
Yes.
so you know, so that allows me, time to do a little freelance writing whenever I can, and then when I'm not doing that, I can work on this convention, and it's really been a full time job since I started in late January. Um, I would say that I've worked almost every single day, on some aspect of the convention, and a lot of the reason I think it's taken so long and been such a difficult process is because I've never planned any kind of convention before in my life.
Yeah.
So, so that I thought it would be easy peasy, and it's definitely not. There are so many moving pieces, and you know, hotels to be booked, and down deposits to be down payments and deposits to reserve rooms and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's been a learning process, but and a lot of it's been trial and error. I've made tons and tons of mistakes, but it'll be easier next year, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I am I just talked to my wife, and we just do not know if we're going to make it, but if we
Oh,
do,
I hope so
yeah,
much that you can make it.
we will do a live version of Set Lusting Bruce.
Oh, that'd
So
be
if we're
great.
there, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so so we're coming in. People are going to start coming in Thursday. When will it kick off on Friday? And do you have something special that's going to kick it off?
Yes, we do actually. Um, the actually it's still a little bit in the planning, so I don't want to give too much away. But we're going to have a special event on Friday night. So check-in will be at 4 p.m. and then at the Berkeley Hotel, which is kind of like the home base and it's also where most of the people who are coming from out of state have chosen to stay. Uh, and so check-ins at like from 4 till 6, and then we have a very special event on Friday. But I don't want to
Okay.
give anything away about that because it's not definite.
Okay.
So, but I want to do something really special Friday night, just to kind of allow people to get to know each other
Hmm.
and maybe stay up late and
Yeah.
tell stories and that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And then yeah, and then the main attraction is also kind of still up in the air because um, when I started planning this thing, Jesse, I said, I asked myself, now, what do I want to do for entertainment? And
Right.
a lot of people suggested that I get a tribute band, but
Yes.
you know, tribute bands are yeah. I don't want to take anything away from them. I think they're great in what they do, but I love just like good old fashioned rock and roll.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think of who was the best guitar player that I could get, and for the kind of money that we might have, and I decided to try to get Bobby Bandiera, who has played, Bobby has played many years for Southside Johnny, and also for I think he played for John Bon Jovi for about 15 years.
Wow.
Um, yeah, I didn't realize it was that long. So he hasn't really been doing much. I think he's working on a studio album, and I called this person who connected me to that person, and finally I got in touch with Bobby's road manager, and then it was a big thrill of being able to talk to Bobby on the phone, because I've been to a lot of Southside Johnny shows, and I've always been really really impressed with Bobby Bandiera's guitar playing ability. I think he's just amazing on guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Um, are you a Southside Johnny fan?
A casual one. There certainly
Casual.
are
Okay.
songs that I know. I've never seen him live.
Okay.
Being in Texas, kind of tough sometimes, but I
Yeah.
certainly
Yeah.
recognize the greatness, and that sounds like a really fun night.
Yeah. Yeah. And we don't know exactly. This is the funny part about planning a convention.
Right,
Um, so we had the artist, but then we needed a venue,
right,
and I wanted to try to get a venue that was close, to the boardwalk and to the hotels where people are staying. Um, and a lot, there was somebody already booked. I think the Pixies are playing at the Stone Pony that night.
okay,
So, so then my next thought was the Wonder Bar, but they had a hold on that night. So right now he's either going to be playing in the afternoon or the evening, but whenever it happens, it's going to be really special.
good.
I think. Yeah, I hope. I'm praying.
No, I'm
And
sure it will be.
yeah, yeah. I think. I mean, the man really knows, and he'll have. I think he has a band of maybe 4 or 5 guys. Um, and sometimes he even has horns. So
Okay,
we'll see if we can get him to bring out the horns,
good.
and just have a really great time. I really love the Wonder Bar. I think it's a very cozy, warm place. Um, did you have a chance to stop in at the Wonder Bar at all?
Outside it, we didn't get to go inside it.
Okay.
Because we were rolling, a lot to see.
Yeah, there is a lot
Yeah,
to
there
see.
is a lot to see. Um, are you going to have like anything during the day, or mostly just a chance for people to, kind of see Ashbury Park themselves, go down to the boardwalk,
Yeah,
take pictures, and then kind of meet themselves for lunches and drinks, and kind of
right.
everyone kind of make their own schedules.
Yeah, well, it depends on exactly when he plays. So
Right,
if he plays at night, then, as you said, I didn't want to schedule too much so
right,
that people would be, people wouldn't have any time to sort of explore Asbury
right,
Park, and like you just said, there is so much to see and experience, and
right.
you want to check out, and plus in September the weather, from what I hear, is really still very very nice in
Yes.
September. So in fact, a lot of people say September is the best month in Asbury Park. I'm not sure if that's true, but I think they say that because all the tourists have gone
Right.
home.
Yeah.
so so they have the boardwalk and the beach all to themselves. So hopefully, I'm praying for good weather, and people. So that's if he plays at night. If he plays during the day, then people will have a chance to go out at night and maybe experience some music at night, because there sure are a lot of clubs in that area that where people can go, and if there's not a band playing, then maybe there's a DJ or something like
Sure.
that. So that's Saturday.
Okay.
Then and then Sunday is we have something really exciting going on. Um, it's we're having actually a bus tour, the same exact tour that you took, Stan Goldstein's rock and roll tour of the Jersey Shore. There's my Boston accent coming out again.
Yeah.
Um, but so he's going to be doing that. But in addition to him, Stan and Gene, uh, we also have a very special tour guide, a guy by the name of Vinny Mad Dog Lopez. So
Wow.
yeah, so and with Bruce's book just coming out, there's a lot of stories in there about the very early days of the E Street Band, even when Bruce was in Steel Mill. So I'm sure that it's a 4-hour tour, and I'm sure that Vinny will have a lot of stories to tell um, along the way. So I'm really looking forward to that, just personally. And unfortunately, the unfortunate part is that the space is limited on the bus, and we can only do one bus tour on Sunday. But actually, uh, I almost forgot about this. On Saturday, you had asked about Saturday. Saturday at 4:30 in the afternoon, Stan is going to give a walking tour of downtown Asbury Park. So, Stan is such an expert, and he knows everything. I mean,
He really does.
he's a consummate Bruce fan. I think he probably knows more than anybody I know about Bruce Springsteen. And so he's gonna guide people on a 90-minute walking tour that goes from the boardwalk, and then it's going to cover the boardwalk and Ocean Avenue and Kingsley Avenue. So it'll cover the circuit, which Bruce used to always talk about, the circuit that they used to be able to drive in the old days. Um, so I'm really excited about that too. And for people who don't make it on the bus, we of course have a lot of exciting things planned for them. And one of them that I wanted to just mention in particular is on the boardwalk. There's actually a pinball. It's called the Silver Ball Pinball Museum and Arcade, and it
Right?
has pinball machines that go back to, I think, the early part of the 20th century.
Wow.
Yeah, they have like, I think, 50 or 60 pinball machines in there, if you can believe it. And so we're going to have a party in there, and so everybody who isn't able to make it on the bus tour can play pinball for 3 hours. Or, if you don't want to play pinball, you can just sort of enjoy the party. And they have a little area in the middle of the museum where people can eat and drink and make merry.
Good.
And we'll have that catered. So
Oh, nice.
it's a full weekend, and I can't wait. I almost wish that we could skip summer
Ha ha ha
and get
ha.
right.
Yes. Well, I need time to heal so that maybe I can make this. Um, and
Yeah, I want you.
I'm
I
hoping
really.
for a really good turnout, because then we can do this again, and then you can build on success, and then maybe we could arrange a few more, maybe a couple of
Do
the
two
people
bus
that
tours.
yeah, a couple of people that, blog maybe. It'd be nice to get some of the other Springsteen podcasts there. We could do, a live
Yeah.
roundtable. I mean, we could do some things that a lot of conventions do. So let's hope it. So if someone's interested in attending, where do they go to get more information? And this sounds, with a lot going on, expensive. So what's the cost of this?
Well, I did my best to keep the cost of registration as low as possible. So, I'm really pleased that it's only $35 to register, and
Wow.
I set up an Eventbrite site. So it's very simple. It takes less than a minute to register if you have your credit card all set and stuff. And it you just enter in your name and address and all that information, and you're all set. Bob's your uncle. So so the best way, Jesse, would be to go to the BruceBook site on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and every day I try to post an update, telling people what's new about there seems to be a new development every day, and so there's a link to the Eventbrite site, and once you're registered, you're all set. Now there will be some add-on costs, like for instance, if you want to take Stan's bus tour, I think there will be there'll be a charge for that, but Stan is handling that, so I
Sure.
can't really speak to any of that.
Well,
Um,
and if you want a T-shirt, which by the way I am wearing right now, I am wearing my
oh, thank
official
you.
Bruce Books T-shirt. Yes.
Thank
Um,
you so much.
yeah, so that is available too. We can find that on the Facebook page,
Yep,
where
I'll
yeah,
put a
there's a
link
link
up
to
for that.
that. So
Yeah,
you
because
want to do that? That is amazing.
I
Um,
had a guy. Sorry to interrupt, but I had a
no.
guy in England who came forward, and his name is Andy Polhart. Andy's
Yes.
a great friend, and he's also a huge Springsteen fan. In fact, I think he's going that weekend. I think he's going to a convention in England.
Oh, nice.
But yeah. So anyway, he designed a beautiful uh, sort of logo for the convention,
I agree.
and that's what's on the back of the shirt, and we have the Bruce Book logo on the front, and I think they're pretty good looking shirts.
I think they are
Um,
too. I'm also
I'm
I'm
sure they look.
hoping
Uh,
I'm hoping to get
uh,
him on the show sometime. He does some
yeah, I
absolutely
think
beautiful art and
he does.
jewelry, so I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, there's, I have been so pleasantly surprised by the number of people in the Springsteen fan community who are really good artists.
Yes,
Painters and people who make all kinds of different pendants and wristbands and stuff like that. I mean, there's like half a dozen that I know of just off the top of my head. And
yeah,
so I think he'd be a great guest for you.
I think so too. I'm looking forward to talking to him, and I am so excited about this weekend. I know there is going to be a lot of stories to share. If my wife and I do not make it there, I'm going to have you on the show after the weekend for a post convention update. I'm hoping to get some
Oh, thank
friends.
you.
I know
Thanks.
so far signups have been good, correct?
Yep, we're doing pretty good. We're about a week into it, and we're about halfway to our goal, I think.
Okay, good.
So, if you haven't registered yet, please register. The password, by the way, you do need a password, and I'll tell it to everybody on the radio or on the podcast. It's a very familiar word. It's LOHAD, so it's all in all uppercase. Land of Hope and Dreams. LOHAD is the password.
Awesome. Very
Yeah,
nice.
I
So,
think it ties into the whole theme of Asbury Park and the Land of Hope and Dreams and everything that Springsteen talks about.
absolutely. John, I just wish you the best of success. I know this is going to be an amazing weekend. You know,
Thank you.
the the beauty of going to a Bruce show is getting to tailgate and meet people beforehand,
I
and
agree.
then you go into this amazing show. So think of this as a chance to be in the pit longer,
Yeah.
and to get to share stories and talk and visit with people that are passionate about this music and this band and this man the way that we are. So good for you. I wish you nothing but success and
Thanks.
love, and
Thanks.
I think this is
And
going to be great.
yeah, and one last thing I wanted to mention that we do have a photographer, a woman who a lot of people will recognize her name, Deborah Rothenberg, is going to be joining us for the weekend.
Oh, good.
And yeah, so we'll be posting pictures on BruceBook, and so she'll be taking candid shots, and hopefully we'll get a group shot that people can purchase for, not too much money, and that'll be sort of the cherry on top of the cake.
Well, that would be awesome. Like I said, if there's, I am depending on my health, depending how we work money wise, we're going to make this happen, and then I can go, and then we'll be doing live updates on the podcast for that weekend. And it's just, I think this is going to be a wonderful chance to spend time with people who are passionate about Bruce the same way we all are. And I'm just so glad that you and your team, the volunteers that are helping you, are busting your butts to make this happen.
Well, thank you, Jesse. Thank you so much. You've been a great friend, and
Any last words you want to say except go register?
yeah, go register, please. Please help support this first ever 2017 Bruce Book Convention. Go register. Go to the Bruce Book site, and it's very, very easy to register. Thanks so much, and I really look forward to meeting all of the Springsteen fans in September. I can't wait.
I think it's going to be amazing. I just think we'll all be blood brothers under the bridge, and we will all
Yeah.
be on that Land of Hope and Dreams train. So, thank you, listeners. Thank you, John. We're going to end it here and just remind everyone that, ain't no sin to be glad you're alive. Let's celebrate together, and we will see you in September.